What is going on, internet world? My name is Tommy. You probably know me as Rivet, and I'm your coach of the Atlanta Braviaries, the highest flying, flyest-looking team on YouTube. And we are here with our Week 8 battle of the UBL against CartCant and the Tennessee Voltorbs. This is going to be a great match. Welcome to the workshop. Alrighty guys, we are here breaking down our Week 8 matchup against CartCant and the Tennessee Voltorbs. He's got a really scary team, but I think we have a pretty solid squad to take him on this week. First off, his first Pokemon is Mew, an incredibly bulky and strong Psychic type, base 100 across the board, and it does everything. So super offensive, it can set up in a variety of ways. It's incredibly defensive, which is probably the set I'm expecting this week. Probably a bulky set with a Roost, Shadow Ball, something in the sort to handle. Mega Medicham is its best answer to M-Medi. So definitely expecting Mew this week. Maybe something like Shadow Ball, Volt Switch, Roost, Stealth Rock, something of the sort. Next up, he's got Rillaboom, very offensive grass type with the Grassy Surge ability. Grassy Glides obviously hit incredibly hard and are very scary, as are Wood Hammers. It gets additional coverage and knockoff, high horsepower, Drain Punch. It can U-turn out. Not expecting Rillaboom this week. I think the combination of Skarmory and Moltres shuts it down incredibly hard. So if he brings it, then okay. But I think I have the tools to handle it. But definitely not expecting Rillaboom this week. Next up is Hawlucha, an Unburden user to take advantage of grassy terrain. Very scary with Unburden. It can Swords Dance and bulk up, moves like Brave Bird, Acrobatics, Close Combat, all hitting very hard. Same with Stone Edge, Thunder Punch. So Hawlucha, if it comes, probably something like a White Herb set with Close Combat. That could still be pretty scary with something like Swords Dance and Thunder Punch or Stone Edge to help break through Moltres and Skarmory. However, since Rillaboom probably isn't coming, not sure if Hawlucha comes. I think he's got some better mons to fill the slots this week, but you know, it's still definitely a very scary mon, so I have to watch out for it. Next up is Bisharp, very offensive Dark and Steel type, very scary, base 125 attack. Knockoffs and Iron Heads hit incredibly hard. It can Sucker Punch for priority. Gets other moves like Poison Jab and the sort, but usually it's pretty just a offensive Swords Dance user. Bisharp this week is pretty scary. I don't have super good reliable responses to its dual stab. Skarmory is a pretty good answer, but after a couple knockoffs, I'll be pretty chipped down. He does have to be wary of Body Press, but Bisharp very scary nonetheless. Next up is Blastoise, 100% coming this week, I think. It's his best response to Weavile, just a bulky flip turn pivot. Maybe something like Aura Sphere, maybe Earthquake for Magneton. And flip turn, maybe Rapid Spin to get away any hazards set by Skarmory. So he could also bring, you know, a sweeping set this week. A mixed sweeping set, something like Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Earthquake with Shell Smash could be pretty scary. My team doesn't handle that all too well, so I have to watch out for Blastoise. Next up is Dragalge, a very bulky and slow Poison and Dragon type with the adaptability ability, boosting up its stab moves. It's a very good mon. I don't know if it comes this week, just because I have a few things that kind of shut it down. Something like Magneton, it can't really touch. So again, if it comes, maybe just a bulky pivoting set to take on something like Moltres, flip turn out, set some Toxic Spikes. Next up, Ribombee, Fairy and Bug type, very fast at base 124 speed. You can Quiver Dance up and set Sticky Webs. Moonblast and Bug Buzz hit pretty hard, but this thing can't really touch Magneton or Skarmory. So again, if it comes, it's probably just a web setter for something like the next mon, as you'll see, Frostlass. So that being said, Frostlass is his next Pokemon. It's very, very scary Ice type and Ghost type, base 110 speed with very solid mixed attacking stats at base 80 in both, and it's incredibly scary. It gets Triple Axle, Poltergeist, it can run special sets with Ice Beam and Shadow Ball, it gets stuff like Thunderbolt for coverage, it can set Spikes as well, and definitely scared of Frostlass this week. It's a very scary mon. What I would probably expect is, you know, a physically offensive like mix set with Triple Axle, Poltergeist, Thunderbolt, maybe Spikes, Destiny Bond, or Ice Shard, something of the sort. Because Frostlass kind of messes me up. Skarmory is a decent way to deal with it, but Thunderbolt sends it for a ride. So definitely got to play around that Frostlass. If it comes, I think it probably will. And then determine what set it is and the best way to play around it. Next up, Golisopod, a very bulky and strong water and bug type. Liquidations hit very hard, as do First Impressions. It can also set Spikes. If it comes, it's probably just the bulky Water Rocky Helmet user to stop Weavile with the heavy-duty boots, as Knockoff won't do a whole lot to it if he's physically defensive, and he can scare me out pretty good with a First Impression. It doesn't do a whole lot to Skarmory, so I have a pretty solid answer. That's why I think Blastoise is a little bit better, as it pressures it with Scald. So if I do see Golisopod, I got to work around it. Next up, Mega Camerupt, an incredibly strong special wall breaker, base 145 special attack with with the sheer force ability, boosting up moves like Flamethrower and Earth Power, along with stuff like Rock Slide and Flash Cannon if he brings it. It's incredibly slow, base 20 speed, and he doesn't have a really good Trick Room option on the team. So if it comes, he's been bringing Stealth Rocks on it a lot. So if he brings it, it's probably just a bulky Stealth Rock setter with offensive moves like Flamethrower, Earth Power, maybe something like Rock Slide to catch Moltres. Next up is Murkrow, a dark and flying type with the Prankster ability. Very annoying to take down. It can Prankster Roost and Prankster Defog and do that. And if he's running something like UBL, it can be a little bit bulky. But Murkrow in this match, not really sure if it comes. It doesn't do a whole lot for him against my team. And then last but not least is Raichu. Very scary electric type, base 110 speed with the Lightning Rod ability. It can Nasty Plot up and it has a great move pool. Stuff like Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Focus Blast, Surf, Grass Knot. And I would definitely think Raichu's coming this week. It pressures Skarmory and Moltres pretty hard, which are two mons that kind of shut down his offensive threat. So if he does bring Rillaboom, then he's absolutely bringing Raichu. I have a couple solid answers to it, like Gastrodon. It does learn Grass Knot, so I do have to be wary. But I definitely got to be wary of Raichu, as it probably is coming this week. So with that out of the way, let's hop into what I am bringing this match. Leading us off is going to be Axel Rose, the Weavile. He's just rocking a Choice Band set again this week. Triple Axel knockoff, Ice Shard, and Low Kick. This set kind of destroys his entire team, barring a bulky water. But if I can get some chip on Blastoise and Golisopod and knock off Rocky Helmet if they have it, Axel is looking fantastic to just rip through this team. Ice Shard out-prioritizes Rillaboom, and it'll out-prioritize Hawlucha if he's unburdened up. And it does over 50% if he's at +1 from a Grassy Seed, so Axel is looking great in the late game and just smashing stuff. It pressures stuff like Dragalge really hard, Frostlass. It can hit Mega Camerupt pretty hard as it doesn't want to take 2 triple Axels. So this is also a good answer to come in against Mew if he's a more defensive set. I do have to watch out for Colberberry if he's running something like Body Press. But Axel's looking great this week. It outspeeds pretty much everything on his team except for Unburdened Hawlucha, which is fantastic. Next up, Winter the Skarmory coming back with a Rocky Helmet set and the Sturdy ability, Brave Bird, Body Press, Roost, and Defog. Fully physically defensive. This is my best answer, obviously, to Rillaboom and Hawlucha. Brave Bird clocks both of those. Body Press is there for Skarmory, Roost for longevity, and then Defog to defog away any hazards. He might set from Mega Camera up to Bisharp or Ribombee. This is a pretty solid answer to Ribombee. I can come in and defog those hazards away and pressure with a nice big Brave Bird, so I really like that option this week. Next up, Cheshire the Gengar coming back with a Black Sludge set this week, Sub Nasty Plot, Focus Blast, and Shadow Ball. He doesn't have solid answers to Shadow Ball except for Bisharp, and Focus Blast sends that thing for a ride. Murkrow obviously is his other Shadow Ball resist, but he doesn't want to take a +2-1 or a Focus Blast, so this is a great answer to come in against Mew. He could have like something like Psychic, which would hurt me, but otherwise Shadow Ball is super duper spammable. If he's like really bulky on Dragalge, then I obviously won't be able to do a whole lot, but he has to be scared of Psychic. So really excited for Cheshire this week. This is a pretty solid win con if Hawlucha's not there. That outspeeds pretty much everything not named Ribombee. I'd have to win a speed tie against Frostlass, but you know, if it comes down to it, maybe I'll have to go that route. Next up, Giggles the Goodra coming back with an Assault Vest set and the Sap Sipper ability, Draco Meteor, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, and Surf. Max special attack, max HP, enough special defense so that Mega Camerupt doesn't 4-shot me, or doesn't 3-shot me with Earth Power, I believe, and then the rest thrown into special attack with the Modest Nature. Draco clocks pretty much everything not named Bisharp, and Ribombee Flamethrower is there for both of those. Thunderbolt is there for the 2 bulky water types, and Surf is there for Mega Camerupt. That kind of just wrecks it. So definitely need Giggles to do some good work this week. I can't let that Mega Camerupt run me over. This is a pretty solid answer to Special Sweeping Blastoise as well. I can take on, you know, something like Ice Beam or Scalds pretty well. If he's physically offensive with something like Ice Punch, I'll be in a little bit of trouble. Thunderbolt will hit it pretty hard, but then I'd have to play around it from there. Next up, Dr. Milburn the Moltres coming back with a heavy-duty boot set and the Flame Body ability, Fire Blast, Hurricane, U-Turn, and Roost. He does not have good switch-ins to Milburn's dual stab this week. If I hit it, Fire Blast and Hurricane just does a number to his team. U-Turn is there for pivoting into something like Axel or Gengar, Roost for longevity, and then just max special attack Timid with enough speed to outspeed Rillaboom. Flame Body obviously punishes Rillaboom very hard. Even though I am offensive this week, I can catch a U-turn, catch a burn if that thing comes, but I really don't think Rillaboom comes just because I have so many things that pressure it and stop Grassy Glide, you know, Wind Shear and Milburn and Sap Sipper on Giggles. So Moltres is looking very, very good this week. And then last but not least, Trinity the Magneton coming with a bulky Eviolite set this week with Analytic, Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, Volt Switch, and Teleport. Fully physically defensive. This is a pretty solid answer to come in against Bisharp. He's not rocking knockoff. If he's rocking like throat chop or something weird like that. This is another solid answer to come in against Rillaboom, and it's my main answer to come in against Frostlass. Frostlass obviously can be a bunch of different stuff, but I'm expecting that physically offensive set with Thunderbolt for Wind Shear, so I can take on Triple Axle and Poltergeist very, very well. Thunderbolt obviously won't do anything. If he's like Choice Band, I think it might get tricked. If he tricks me, a Choice Band, that would be pretty bad, but otherwise I can teleport out pretty safely. Mega Camera Up comes in on me every single time, but I can just teleport out into Giggles, threaten pretty hard with a Surf, or drop a Draco or anything of the sort. So that is the team we are rocking with. This is a must-win game for me. We're kind of on the lower end of the playoff bracket so far, so I want to try to get this win, lock ourselves in for playoffs, so it's not a big pressure situation next week. So with that out of the way, let's hop into this match. All right, guys, we're about to hop into this Week 8 matchup against CartCant and the Tennessee Voltorbs. You can see the 6 I expect them to bring up on the screen: Mew, Bisharp, Blastoise, Frostlass, Mega Camera Up, and that Raichu. You've seen the 6 I am bringing and why I am bringing them. If you haven't, go check out the team builder. So let's hop into this match. Okay, we do see Rillaboom. I'm totally shocked as to why that's here. But you know what? Wind Shear shuts it down. We don't see Hawlucha. No, Blastoise is really good. I didn't want to have to deal with that. But frankly, I have no idea what Rillaboom is doing here. No, Frostlass is awesome. I really didn't want to have to deal with Frostlass. But we do see Dragalge and we see Rillaboom. Dragalge, totally not shocked to see. It's a solid Gengar answer. And Rillaboom, I don't know what you do. I really don't. I have Ice Shard on Weavile. I've got 2 very good answers to it. But if I say this now and it bites me in the ass, I'm going to be fuming pissed at myself. But from a lead perspective, he could totally lead Rillaboom. He could lead Raichu or Dragalge to just pivot out. Trinity isn't a terrible lead. If he leads Mew and he's got Earth Power, that'd be pretty bad. Axel isn't a terrible lead. It pressures pretty much everything really, really hard. Unless he's like Choice Scarf to Raichu, which he could totally be. Giggles isn't a terrible lead. It matches up fairly well against everything. I'd have to go straight into Wind Shear on a knockoff on that Bisharp, though, which isn't fantastic. If he were to lead Bisharp. But I could also lead Milburn. Milburn's not a terrible lead. I can U-turn out on pretty much everything. I can go into Giggles on that Raichu and eat the Volt Switch. Or I could just try to pressure something really hard with a Hurricane straight away, because he doesn't have really good answers to it. His answer is probably Dragalge or that Camera. So I think I like leading Milburn. Let's do that. Okay, Milburn's going to come out. We see Camera Up as a lead. Hurricane would dent this thing. I mean, my play is to just U-turn into Giggles. He's probably going to set Stealth Rocks. But if he were to go for Rock Slide, I would die. So I'm just going to U-turn hard into Giggles. He's going to stay in a Mega. Get a nice little crit. I don't think it matters. He probably sets Stealth Rocks here. If he goes for Rock Slide, it's going to hurt. He's just going to set Rocks. I can drop a Draco here. He doesn't have a good switch into it. I can fire off a nice Surf. That'll do a lot. I'm just going to drop a Draco. I mean, he's not going to stay in here. He probably goes into Mew. Probably. But this is going to tickle something, because I'm pretty invested. Rillaboom comes out. Well, this is going to dent Rillaboom. Hit it. 75. Cool. Alright, well, you're either going to knock off or U-turn, because, I mean, you can't Grassy Glide, obviously. My play is just going to Wind Shear and Defog. If he U-turns, whatever, he's going to take Rocky Helmet chip, but he can't touch me. So that's really good chip on Rillaboom. Just handle this thing early. If he knocks off my helmet, whatever. I really don't need the helmet because I was really only there for Hawlucha and Triple Axle on Frostlass, so totally cool with that. Totally cool with that. Skarm's going to come out here. Probably going to take a knockoff. Yep. He's just going to knock off my helmet. That's not the end of the world. I'm just going to defog these rocks away. He's going to go into Harden to Raichu. That's fine. They get rid of this terrain as well. And then I'm just going to go hard back to Giggles. Volt Switch out. Easy peasy. Oh, he's just going to go straight for Nasty Plot? Okay. Well, you realistically shouldn't be able to do a ton to me. Because I am AV, pretty bulky. So let's see. A +2 Focus Miss does barely anything, and Draco sends you for a ride. So I could go for Flamethrower, predicting that Bisharp to come in. Because he probably goes into Mew this time, if I were to bet. But, I mean, even a Draco is still going to dent that Bisharp. If he goes into that, yeah. I mean, Draco does a decent chunk. But he's definitely not going to sit in here and let me kill him with Draco. This is where I really wish I had Earthquake. But, you know, let's just drop another Draco, see what he does. Oh, he goes, he's got Draining Kiss? Interesting. Well, he lived it. That's really annoying. But, whatever. That was a pretty good roll, anyway. I'm just going to go for a nice little Flamethrower here. If he wants to go for that again. Actually, if he Draining Kissed, he recovered. How much did he recover? Oh, it wouldn't have told me. Well, he's +2. He's not Life Orb. I don't know what he is. Maybe Expert Belt. I didn't even know this thing got Draining Kiss. But he might just stay in here. Draining Kiss did 22.5. He's not Expert Belt. He's probably Boots. Boots or something of the sort. You know, let's see. He's going to recover that much. I'm at -2. So another Draco will totally kill, even if he Draining Kisses. I'm just going to drop another one. He's going to go for it. This should kill. If I hit it. Goodbye. Alright. Well, that's one for giggles. I'm still got to keep this thing as healthy as possible because of that Mega Camera up sitting here, but I can pressure that out pretty easily with pretty much anything else. Not really, actually. Pretty much only with Weavile. But Surf will kill that thing. So Draggy comes out here. Alright, well I'm just going to go hard in Trinity. No reason for me not to. Yeah, it depends on the investment on that camera up to how much he's going to do to me. If he's max attack, or max special attack quiet, 2 Earth, even if he's that, 2 Earth powers won't kill me, unless he gets his rocks back up. But he's probably just going to flip turn out here. Trinity comes in. That did a lot. I know I'm uninvested, but Jeezaloo, I was really hoping I was going to take that a little bit better. Did 41.3. He's max special attack. Modest, it looks like. I'm just going to tell you out. He can flip turn. That's cool. I'm going to get the slow pivot. Right into Mega Erupt. I can go into Goodra and pressure incredibly hard with the Surf for another Draco. I can also go into Weavile, because Axel Rose probably hurts this thing pretty good. Depends on his investment. It doesn't look like it'll kill. Moltres, I like the Goodra play. Threatened pretty hard with a Surf. If he goes into Dragalge, I'll just click Draco after that. You can also go into Rillaboom. But let's see. Yeah, I like the Surf play. It's the safest play, and I want to get this thing out of here immediately. If he's got Special Bulk, this might not kill. But then after that, Axel has just free reign to mash it. So maybe that's why Bisharp is here. That's the Axel Rose answer. All right, he's gonna stay in and let me kill the Surf. So 2 on the board for giggles. This stupid thing comes back in. I think I'm just gonna drop a Draco here because even if he's AV, Giggles has done her job. So yeah, I mean unless you're Assault Vest, even if you're Assault Vest, this is still gonna tickle. This is gonna do over half. So I'm gonna click it. Bonk. Oh, he's Havan Berry. That's pretty cool. He's going to kill me with Draco. Oh, you missed the Draco. I'm sorry. Havan Berry on Dragalge is cool. So I'm at -2. He's got no item. And this Draco might kill. And realistically, Trinity has been bonked super hard. So I would like to keep it around. Or, I mean, do I? I mean, I'm honestly just going to go into Trinity here. If he kills me, then cool. But then I get Giggles fresh again. I get another Draco off. He probably sacks off Rillaboom or just kills this thing. So, you know, let's go into Trinity. Let's keep Giggles around. Bonk. That did a lot. He can just do another one of those. It'll hit me pretty good if he goes for flip turn. I'm just going to get the slow pivot. Yep. Trinity hanging on like a champ. Eviolite max, baby. If it goes into Bisharp, Hardened to Moltres. Goes into Rillaboom. Probably also hardened to Moltres. Mew. Probably go into Gengar. He could be whatever the Ghost Berry is, which would be bad, but I can sub up pretty safely. I can also go into, so he's probably defensive. I don't want to go into Weavile because he's definitely Cold Berry. So Gengar, if he's like invested pretty bulky, I wouldn't do a whole lot. So I'm just going to go in and click sub and see what he wants to do. He's going to stay in. Oh, he's going to start Calm Minding. Uh-oh. Well, that's kind of scary. Let's see how much this Shadow Ball does before I go for Nasty Plot. I can, you know what? I can break this thing and then get Axel Rose in and just start having Weavile time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to bother Nasty Plotting. If I go to +2, I do have a chance to kill. Yeah, you know, yeah, let's click Nasty Plot. On the off chance, he's gonna go for Stored Power. That's fine. Stored Power, I might live since he's so low on boosts. So let's go for a nice Shadow Ball here. Oh, he goes straight into Bisharp. That's a lot. I'm gonna keep clicking Substitute. Oh, he's Scarf Bisharp. Interesting. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool play. He's locked into Knockoff. Okay, well that's actually really bad. Because this thing still has its Golber Berry. Oh shit, I might have just thrown. I did not expect Scarf Bisharp at all. Wow. That's not good. Knockoff won't do a lot, and I can just roost. But I gotta make sure I don't lose to this dang Mew. So into Wind Shear we go. I threaten incredibly hard with a Body Press. And I'm just gonna... What do I want to do here? I can't touch that Mew with this thing. Mew probably comes out here. I'm gonna double back. I'm gonna double out into Axel. That's a really bold play. But if that Mew is physically defensive with Cold Berry, I'm not gonna do anything to it. He's definitely got Body Press or Aura Sphere or something. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is terrible. I'm gonna lose that Mew. That was a great prank. Scarf, Bisharp. I'm gonna click Roost. He goes hard into Rillaboom. Okay, that's interesting. And I'm just gonna click Brave Bird. Actually, Body Press is probably better. I'm assuming this kills. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Body Press here. Brain Punch. Okay. This still might kill. Nope. Go for it again. This time he's gonna die. Alright, well. Rillaboom's dead. Yeah, that was Choice Band. Choice Band Jolly, maybe. I still don't know why. Alright, well. Here's the $1,000,000 question. This thing was offensive. Draco doesn't do a whole lot to Wind Shear, and I'm just going to roost up and force you to do something. Oh, this thing gets Thunderbolt. Oh, he paralyzed me. That's pretty bad. Okay. Well, hard into Magneton. Sack that off. I forgot this thing got Thunderbolt. Alright, Trinity's going to go down. And then Weavile comes in and clicks the move. Knockoff should probably kill this thing. But it wouldn't... I'll just click Axel. Alright, well, Dragalge's dead. Bisharp comes out. Harden to Wind Shear. If he doubles out, that'll be bad. He's going to go for Iron Head. And then I'm going to double into Milburn to catch that Mew, because there's no way in hell he stays in here. Even if he does, I have a chance for a burn. Dang. Alright, well, good play. And I'm going to go for Fire Blast. Alright, Mew comes out. That does a sizable chunk. He's probably... Oh, he's leftovers, not Golber. Okay. So, hard U-turn here into... Oh, shit. I gotta get this thing to... Alright, well, that means I really wish I was slower. Man, if he clicks Aura Sphere and I go hard into this thing, I'm dead. I gotta figure out how to get Axel in though. I'm gonna go straight into it. Please don't click Aura Sphere. Please don't. Iron. Oh, he's Iron Defense? Uh-oh. Okay, well. This... I'm praying this kills. Thank God. Oh, I crit him. Damn. Alright, well, into win shear we go. I think that still would have killed anyway, I think. It depended on if his investment. If he was max, that had a solid chance to kill. Then he would have been able to roost though and play that game, and he would have beat me. I mean, no, he didn't. He was Calm Mind, Stored Power, Iron Defense, so he either didn't have roost. Yeah. So he says it doesn't matter. So he either didn't have Aura Sphere or he didn't have roost. So either way, Weavile was winning that one. So we'll go for a nice body press here. Windshear's going to pick up the last kill. We're back on track. That's what I call a riveting win. GG's to CartCant. Very glad to get back on the winning track. Sorry for the little bit of hacks there. The Dragalge one was definitely piss poor, but very excited to get back on the winning track in the UBL. Got one more battle next week. GG's to Cart. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.